Stop smoking today. This is a message from the universe. Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara and I make content about holistic self-love. Today I wanted to talk about smoking and why you should stop today or whenever you watch this video. Well, today. I wanted to share a little bit about my experience with smoking and giving up. I was inspired to make this video because I was with a smoker yesterday and we were talking about the benefits of giving up and how challenging it can be, but it's so worth it. I used to smoke, not much, but enough to be addicted. And I maybe smoked about 1 or 2 packets a week. And it was something that I really felt bad about. For example, I'm very into health in general. And I've been paying for private health insurance for many years. And I always had this feeling in my mind that I'm not going to reach an old age because of this smoking habit. Or, for example, if I go to a doctor one day and I have this diagnosis, how would I feel if that diagnosis was based on something I did to myself? I don't think I could live with myself. Of course, there are no guarantees in life, and even if you do lead a very healthy lifestyle, you never know what can happen. Lots of things are out of our control, but the things that are in our control, I think it's good to control them. Well, smoking is just one of the most pointless things ever. I mean, it really is. I mean, there's no kind of high or benefit from it. It's expensive and it's only bad, you know. So I wanted to share with you my giving up story and some of the things that helped me to stop smoking forever. It's a very difficult thing to do, and it's so worthwhile, as I've just said. So let me go back to, I think it was 2016. I was with a friend who had just given up smoking 2 weeks before me, and I smoked a cigarette in his garden. I was mainly a social smoker. I wasn't like smoking like a packet a day or anything. It was just with friends or, you know, coffee or with a drink or have you. And this friend said to me, "Wow, you stink. You need to stop smoking." And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give up right now. I didn't want to be perceived as someone who has that stale granddad smoker smell. It's just so unattractive. And also that, you know, when you are a smoker, your sense of smell is impaired anyway. So I just knew the smell of a smoker is not a good one. So I thought, I'm going to give up right now. So I actually gave up that day. It wasn't my intention, but hearing him say that to me was very encouraging. And I'd wanted to give up for a long time, but it wasn't until that moment that I thought, I don't want to be a smelly smoker. And also the fact that he'd given up 2 weeks before me was great encouragement. We were encouraging each other. We were accountability partners, and it was fantastic. And he was 2 weeks ahead of me. Unfortunately, this friend gave up. He kind of gave in to temptation a few weeks later, and he started smoking again. And I tried to return the favor to him. Hey, stop smoking, you smell, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, this created a massive rift in our friendship, and we are no longer friends, unfortunately. Because when I stopped smoking, I embraced a healthy lifestyle, and it was very difficult, but I managed to do it. And I managed to prove to myself that I had incredible willpower, and I think that really triggered him. And then suddenly we were not friends anymore. That said, I'm incredibly grateful to him for encouraging me to become a non-smoker. So the hardest things for me, or the things that helped me before I talk about how stopping smoking impacted my life, is that it was June in Barcelona, and that time of year is cherry season. So I started eating lots of cherries to get that oral fixation from something else. It's kind of interesting how smoking is kind of like, you know, it encourages you to breathe slower. And I think sometimes if you are craving a cigarette, you could replace that by just taking time to inhale and exhale, do some breathing exercises. There are many breathwork apps out there, and that can really help, because when you are smoking, you are breathing slower, but even though your heart is probably going faster, you think it's relaxing you, but it's not really. Also, the cherry thing was kind of helping with my oral fixation, and it's better to have something healthy like, you know, fruit or something like that, rather than sweets or something like that. But there are some things you can get in the pharmacy that can help you. I didn't need any of that, fortunately. But then another thing that really helped me was consulting an online timeline about all of the things that were happening in my body as my giving up process progressed. It was so incredible. I'm going to read a couple of things to you now, and this is an extract from the NHS website. And for example, just after 20 minutes, your pulse rate is going back to normal. After 8 hours, your oxygen levels are recovering. After 48 hours, it's so hard to get to 48 hours. I think this is probably one of the most difficult times. But at that moment, your lungs are cleaning out and your sense of taste and smell are improving. 78 hours, that's another milestone. Your breathing feels easier. And this is probably the 48 to 72 hours for me was one of the hardest times. I think I read somewhere that was the most difficult time as well. But then after 2 to 12 weeks, that craving becomes rejection. Well, it did for me. And after 3 to 9 months, you're like, ooh, smoke, that's disgusting. After 1 year, wow, what a victory. After 10 years, well, for me now, it's going to be 8 years. So I'm super happy with myself. And smoking is just the most disgusting thing ever, I think now. And when I'm near a smoker, I'm just like, oh, go away, go away. So I would like to encourage those people to give up. And I just made a couple of notes here on some paper that I can hardly read, very typical of me, about some other things that I learned and things that will help you, hopefully encourage you to give up. Another thing that's a big motivator to give up is the money. I mean, for me, as I live in Spain and I was smoking natural rolly tobacco, my investment in tobacco was actually very low. It could be, I don't know, €4 a week, which is nothing, but it's still too much. So I wasn't buying, a packet of actual cigarettes. And I used to try and convince myself because it was natural tobacco, it was okay. It's not okay. No tobacco is okay. But the money, I don't know how much it is for a packet of cigarettes now in the UK, but it's something extortionate. I don't know how people can actually justify it. Now people turn into vaping, which is just awful as well. But the money is a massive motivator to give up because there are some apps out there that have similar tools, such as the timeline I've just shared with you, where you actually have your last cigarette. And then you get these notifications of what's happening in your body to keep you motivated. But it'll also calculate how much money you saved. And I think about, if you think about how much money you're spending on tobacco, that you could replace that with a self-love budget and go on holiday and have massages and do really cool things. For me, what really helped is that I completely changed my mindset when I gave up tobacco. For example, I bought a juicer, which is about €300, so it's not a small investment. It's actually a big investment, and I started getting into juicing, and then I joined the gym for the first time in my life. I was never into gyms before. I was more into outdoor exercise. And and I just so joining the gym was just like a massive change in mindset, and I got so into it. I used to go Monday to Friday every single day doing different activities, and I absolutely loved it. So then as my mentality became more of a healthy lifestyle person, I didn't have a smoker's mentality anymore. So, and that also triggered my friend who was like seeing me get ready for the gym, and he was like, and I was like, do you want to see what a burpee is? And I was showing him what burpees are, and he was like, and smoking. So he was full of resentment towards me. Another thing that helped me is that I had given up alcohol the year before, because what happens a lot of the time with people who give up smoking is that they go back into smoking when they are drinking. They might get a little bit drunk, and that can be very tempting then to smoke cigarettes. It was like that for me. I used to be, when I was a drinker, I would always steal people's cigarettes. I would never buy a packet myself because that would be like admitting that I was a smoker. So that's I was so annoying. I must have been so annoying for those people. But just having those cigarettes when you're a little bit drunk to get that nicotine rush, I was very guilty of that. But the fact that I'd already given up alcohol really helped me. And I would encourage you, if you want to give up tobacco, to maybe think about reducing or giving up alcohol as well for that time, so you don't fall into the temptation of smoking again. Because many people say that is what triggers them to go back to smoking. Another thing is friends. You really need some encouragement in these times. And it's unfortunate that when you start adopting some healthy lifestyle, some of your friends are not as encouraging as you would hope. I mean, they say a friend in need is a friend indeed. But I mean, it's very easy to empathize with people when they're going through something difficult. But when you're doing something really good, Sometimes your friends can feel a little bit judged or a bit like, oh, you're not my partner in crime anymore. You know, it can feel they don't encourage you in the right way because it makes them look at themselves and maybe their own smoking or their own bad habits. So that can be quite hard sometimes. So try and get some encouragement from a non-smoking friend if you can. Then some things that change. People are worried about weight gain. Yes, I did gain weight when I gave up smoking, but then I started going to the gym, so that weight gain was kind of turning into muscle. You know, it was a very different sensation, but the sense of taste and smell comes back, and my skin improved a lot. I remember I had a lot of like fine lines when I was smoking. I used to look in the mirror and like, oh my God, what's going on? But my skin improved so much, and I just had a more vibrant vibe. You know, sometimes I look at smokers and I feel that they have this grey aura. It's just smoke, you know. It's just, it's really sad because I do think that smoking shows a lack of self-love and a lack of willpower. And you'll know that if you've ever traveled with a smoker, if you've been on a long flight with a smoker and they come off and they're like, oh my God, I need to go into this awful glass cage in an airport full of where all the smokers are, which is just like the worst thing ever. All of these cigarettes in a very small space and they come out smelling like an ashtray, which is just so not sexy. But also something I was mentioning to the guy I was speaking to yesterday is that when you give up smoking, your blood flow, blood circulation will improve, and so will your sexual capacity. If that's not motivation, I don't know what is. So many reasons to give up, and it's not easy, but when you do, you will feel so proud of yourself. And I would encourage you to maybe start also a non-smoking budget with all that money you would spend on tobacco to put into something really nice for yourself, something that's all about self-love, about pampering and as some kind of healthy reward. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and please share with anyone you love who you would like to see them stop smoking, because being a non-smoker is a sign of, or an expression of self-love. Also, I'd like to share with you my life upgrade meditation, my free life upgrade meditation. It is this incredible meditation, which is 100 powerful affirmations based on the 12 areas of the life wheel. I'm giving it away for free. And if you'd like to sign up to my newsletter, you get this free meditation. And the link is in the description below. It's bit.ly. Here it is. I'm just going to write here. I can't remember what it is. So here it is. And yes, life upgrade meditation. And the link is also in the description below. And I'm going to make a giving up smoking meditation soon as well. So thank you for watching. Check out my free life upgrade meditation, and I'll be back soon with some more videos. If you have any suggestions for new topics about holistic self-love, don't hesitate to contact me at venus@venusohara.org, or leave a comment in the comment section below, because I read and reply to all of the comments. Thanks for watching. Mwah.